Hello, welcome to the video. My name is Rachel. This is Austin. This video is going to be about him this time as we're about to head off to Chattanooga for his Ironman. It's going to be a full Ironman. So we're going to get down there a few days early. That way we can kind of learn the area, get everything set up and ready for the day. So we're off to go do that. Any words?
Yeah. Hope you guys enjoy. Thanks for tuning in.
We are walking to the athlete brief.
Yep.
Austin has a egg sandwich.
Yep. And Gatorade electrolyte mix.
Stay warm. You got this.
So
Explain what that is.
this is a cycling computer. It tells you GPS, how much power you're pushing in watts from your pedals, and then it'll tell you how long you've been riding, what time it is, and what your average pace is. What I'm doing now is I've got Ride with GPS hooked up to my Wahoo app, and then I'm just selecting the route. So then this is gonna sync to the computer, and then that's gonna be able to tell me all the step-by-step routes as I'm doing the course. So we've got. So there's all the course elevation data, and then the route, and you can like zoom out to see all that fun stuff.
Sweet.
Cool.
It is now 12:30 also. Well, it's actually 12:45 at the moment. So Austin's going to have his second meal, which will be another egg sandwich. Just trying to keep it somewhat clean and what he's used to, that way that he has no stomach issues or anything from what he eats today. Ah, so close. Time to bring the bike down to Ironman Village. Alright, I am the designated Sherpa. Got all of Austin's transition bags for the bike and the run, and then all his goos and stuff, and we're gonna go drop off right now with the bike. The race isn't wetsuits legal, we're gonna try for a swim skin. Just casually trying on a swim skin at the moment.
So we got some anti-fog stuff for the goggles, and then nutrition flask. So what you do is you put all your goos in here, and then that fits in your pocket instead of carrying like 6 goo packets. Cool. Picked up spare tubes. You always want to run with like 2 of these on the course, so if you take a flat, you're not gonna DNF the race just because of a pothole.
Throw us the tubes. Cool. Okay, what time is it?
Alright, it's 2:20. Got some gluten-free Brothers peanut butter bites, so just some good carbs and fats.
Where are we headed?
We're heading down to the Chickamauga day use area. It's gonna be just a little like beach area you can get warm up in. So just got a swim skin, and I've never swam in it before, so need to go make sure everything fits, nothing's rubbing weird. So just do a quick little 20-minute swim, and then go get some real food.
We just got to the dam river area. Apparently a lot of other people are here swimming as well for the race day. So Austin's gonna go do his 20 minutes, trying to get some footage of that. How's the water? I didn't hear anything you said. There you go. Alright, 10 minutes in, how you feeling? Trying on your second pair of goggles?
I think I'm just gonna call it better.
So how's your skin? Is it working good?
Yeah. Yeah, these goggles didn't fog up and the suit's been good, so we'll just do 10 minutes and call it there.
Alright. Find an entirely gluten-free restaurant. It is 4 o'clock. Austin's Linner. Egg scramble, goat cheese, and fruit. The coach says to drink wine. So we're out here at the hotel restaurant. Nice little spot out on the deck. Drinking some red wine.
Yep, just gotta relax.
Alright, good morning. It is race day. It is Sunday at about 3:50 in the morning. We are going to be rolling out in 10 minutes. I'm whispering because my parents are still sleeping. So we are going to go bring all of his fuel and water bottles to the start line and then come back after we find out if it's wetsuit legal or not. To grab his wetsuit or his swim skin. So I'm gonna go ahead and go do that. Also, here is my fit for the day. Ironman support crew. I got this at the Ironman Village yesterday. So supporting the hubs. What do you have for breakfast?
We did banana, oatmeal, peanut butter, and some coffee.
And the Gatorade.
And I'll be sipping on Gatorade. Yeah.
Where are we headed?
Head down to transition. Put our stuff out there.
The calm before anyone's out here. We're 20 minutes early for what?
Transition open.
Transition open to get in, put the water bottles down, goose down. So, there's all the bikes. And got a little wet, but what good news did we just get?
Sweatsuit legal, baby.
What's the water temp?
Like 75.6, I think.
And it has to be 76.1 at least to be wetsuit legal.
Yeah.
Taking a bus down to the start area for the bus.
Four, 3, 2, 1, and go. All right, keep the athletes onto the water. We're gonna start walking.
Right here, Austin! Austin! I found you.
The Little Debbie. Ironman. We got it. Athletes, if you forgot a timing chip, don't go in that water. Get one right up here at the table. Everybody look down at your ankles. Make sure you got that timing chip on. Alright, if you got a wetsuit, put it underneath that wetsuit. Alright, so it won't fall off.
Yeah.
But welcome all.
We bring the thunder. Bring the thunder. Let's work. Bring the thunder. Let's go. Bring the thunder. Let's work. Bring the thunder. Let's go. Yeah, it's my time, your time. Step into the spotlight. Get lit, yo. Let yourself go. Our time, high time. Gotta go big time. This is it, yo. Never take no flight time. Grind time. Take it to the street time. Turn the roof off. Get loco. Game time, win time. We gon' bring it home time. No regrets now. Let it all go. We bring the thunder. Bring the thunder. Let's work. Bring the thunder. Let's go. Bring the thunder. Let's work. Bring the thunder. Let's work.
Alright, as Austin is doing his swim, I am walking back from the start of the swim and walking all the way back to the finish of the swim. It's about a 2.5 mile walk, so booking it a little bit so I can make sure I get back in time. I could have taken a bus back, but when you walk alongside the river, so you get to see all the competitors swim, so I thought that was pretty cool.
How y'all feel out there? I'm light years, call me eons. When the snare kick in, the beat is neon. Lights, yeah, I'm feeling magnificent. Care less what I'm up against. Yeah, you know I stay fresh like peppermint. Right. And I dive head first when I jump in it. I run it back like a champ, won't fumble it. And you ain't gotta ask, you know we running it. Flip the script and keep y'all wondering. Hot topic, I stay bubbling. Big pesos, I don't take no. Try to keep up, ready, set, go.
Are you feeling yourself?
Yeah, I'm feeling myself.
Are you feeling yourself?
Yeah, I'm feeling myself.
Are you feeling yourself?
Yeah, I'm feeling myself.
Are you feeling yourself?
Yeah, I'm feeling myself. Are you feeling yourself?
Yeah, I'm feeling myself.
Are you feeling yourself?
Yeah, I'm feeling myself.
Are you feeling yourself?
Yeah, I'm feeling myself.
Are you feeling yourself?
Who compares? Nobody comes close. Too hot, turn the bread into toast. Nitro, hit the gas, adios.
Alright, we just got back to the hotel, drop off all of our umbrellas and jackets that we bought because it was raining this morning and then cleared up. So came to the hotel, which is only half a mile away from the start line, so got to drop that off, and I made it to the end of the swim just in time. Also, was coming out of the water, so I got to see him and then transition into the bike. So we're going to try to go meet up with him around the 50-mile mark. There's a tent there where you can kind of like grab some of your stuff that you brought. So we're going to see if he stops, cheer him on, and hopefully we can find parking and find a walking spot. So that is the next plan. Alright, while we wait to go to the 50-mile mark for the bike, he is currently at just about mile 6. This is the Ironman tracker app. I'll show you some stats from his swim. He did it in 49 minutes 54 seconds, average pace a minute 18. And his goal is his race plan. So he was definitely under the swim by a lot, since he wanted to hit the 2 miles in 1 hour. And it was a 2.4 mile swim, and he did it in 49 minutes. We are on our way to mile 50, and it is raining again. So Rained this morning while we were setting up his bottles and goos, and then it stopped for the swim, and then it came back for the bike. So I think it's only gonna last an hour. Hopefully it'll stop soon. All right, here's where he's at right now.
Huh?
Oh, updating. About mile marker 37, and it's 10:30. The race started at 7:30.
Oh,
Yeah. Just started getting rained on, like poured on, as soon as Austin came through the 53-mile bike mark. So luckily parents brought umbrellas, so that helped. So yeah, got to see him, he's seen us, that was pretty cool. And he just made it through the 57-mile on the bike, and he's at 3 hours and 6 minutes, and that's exactly where he wanted to be around, if or maybe just a little faster, so crushing it.
it's plugged in now, right?
Nope, I'm still at almost full.
Make that.
Austin is on his second loop for his bike, and we went and stopped for lunch since we won't see him for another 3 hours, about 2.5 now. Went back to our gluten-free restaurant. I got gluten-free pancakes. Is this him?
No.
Second?
Yes.
Go Austin!
Come on, Austin!
Go Austin!
All right, Austin! You got this!
Austin! Austin! Go Austin!
Okay, let's go. Here you go.
We made a rookie mistake. Apparently there's 2 bridges they're running over. We went to the wrong bridge first. We went to the finishing bridge, not the first lap bridge. So we're just gonna go wait at the finish line, because when he gets off the second bridge, we would have to sprint to catch up with him. There he is! Austin!
Good job, Austin!
It's the day after the race, so we are going to go to the Tennessee Aquarium, which is where we're at right now, since it's literally at the start of Ironman Village. So we pass it all weekend long, so now we're going to go ahead and walk through it.
Check out the Appalachian Cove.
Was it slippery? Alright, last night after Austin finished, pretty much everything was closed, so we did not have a lot of dinner options. So we're finally getting a celebratory burger, fries, and shake now. Shakes first. Those look really good. All right, it's a couple weeks after the Ironman. We wanted to sit down and recap the race. Basically, I'm going to be here asking the questions, and Austin's going to be answering them since he's the one who did it. So yeah, we're going to get started. Just jump right into it, how the race went. So the first question is, what were your thoughts going into the race and leading up to it?
Okay, so I was pretty nervous going into the race. Had a lot of work stuff going on like 2 weeks prior to it, so I was in a taper, but I really wasn't sleeping or eating the way I should have been. Drinking a lot of caffeine, a lot of late nights, so that wasn't as ideal, but felt pretty good going into it. Physically felt prepared, and then slept for 3 days leading up to it pretty good. And then
Next question.
So leading up to the race, like the day before, I was definitely pretty nervous, so just try to eat and drink like normally as possible. So like getting like whole foods in and not overeating the day before, and then finishing off with a little bit of alcohol helps get that 4 hour.
Coach's recommendation. What times did you want to hit for the swim, bike, and then the run?
So for the swim, looking to go sub 1 hour 10 minutes. The current was pretty solid. Definitely blew that out of the water. We hit 49 minutes coming out of the water.
Yeah.
The goal was to hit an hour 10 on the swim. So that would have been a 149 pace per 100 meters. For the bike, plan on hitting 7 hours and 7 minutes, average 16 miles per hour, and then run. Trying to go sub 4 hours 8 minutes, average 9:30 pace. So those numbers were pretty reasonable for like my fitness level for that duration.
And for the goal of what was the time you were trying to hit?
Yeah, so the total goal was sub 12 hours and 30 minutes. One of the dudes I work with did it a couple years ago, and that he got right around that 12:30 mark. So I was like, that's the benchmark.
So on the day of the Ironman, what times did you actually hit for those events?
Cool. So for the swim, ended up hitting 49 minutes, 54 seconds. Definitely blew out that hour 10 I was aiming for. The current was pretty solid, and I just felt really good in the water. Almost hit the end of it and didn't realize how far I was into it. So I didn't really even kick to the last 200 meters of the swim.
And how many miles was the swim?
The swim was 2.4 miles. Then the bike, was aiming for that 7 hours 7 minutes. Came off the bike at 6 hours and 38 minutes, so I did pretty solid there. I was expecting the bike to be a lot worse, but it was interesting. It rained for like 4 hours on the bike, and so because of that, I wasn't eating or drinking the way I was.
And what was the temperature?
Intended. I think it was like in the high 60s, but it
was a little chilly.
It was a little chilly. Got to the point, so around the 40-mile mark, I ended up getting so cold that my legs were shaking and my jaw was chattering. So that kind of sucked. So I think going forward for the bike, I'm not going to bring as much water. Going to use on-course nutrition. Only bring one water bottle with me, and then just swap that out at the aid stations. Seems kind of overkill bringing 4 water bottles, and
you had a lot.
Yeah, and I think I'd be fine with on-course nutrition. After doing the first race, I didn't really have any GI issues, so I'd be willing to experiment and see in the next train up what my body will tolerate. And then I think I'm gonna pack a arm sleeves and a leg warmers, just in case I get called out in the rain next time. Just because that was brutal. If I would have stopped and taken the time to put the arm and the leg sleeves on, I think that would have been a huge game changer on the bike. So let's see here.
And then the run. And
then the run came in at 4 hours and 45 minutes. So kind of ended up buying back some of the time. So I busted that time for the run, but I bought myself enough leeway on the swim and the bike that saved me. The run was definitely rough because I wasn't eating the way I was. I wasn't eating as much as I planned or drinking as much as I planned on the bike. And then going into the run, kind of went out too hot. I remember I hit like an 8:30 mile for one of them, and then kind of blew up around the 10 to 13 mile mark. On Chattanooga, that's when you go across the river and you get into those hills. And the hills were brutal. I wasn't expecting that. I ended up walking a lot of it. Definitely got in the pain cave coming back across the bridge. That's when I started cramping really bad in my hamstrings and calves. Ended up taking like probably 6 salt tabs over the course of the next 5 miles. Getting a lot of nutrition at the aid stations. And then when I hit the mile 18, I was able to like, it just clicked in my brain like, hey, if I want to get this race done in the time I wanted, I'm gonna just have to go. So ended up just pushing super hard, didn't stop running from 18 to 26. So crushed that. It hurt a lot, and I was definitely feeling it.
You made it through though. So
But-
then what was your time you got?
Total time was 12 hours and 28 minutes. So.
Did you want to do your rankings or no?
Yeah, so rankings, I got 37th out of 98 for my age group, so males 25 to 29 years old. Overall ranking 407th out of 1,595 participants. And then by gender, I was 319th out of 1,088 males. So, yeah, top third of the field, not too bad for the first Ironman, second total triathlon done.
Yeah.
Learned a lot of lessons, and then I'm excited for next year.
Nice, sweet. Did work with a coach for this Ironman who prepped him and got him ready for it. So who was your coach?
So my coach was Mike Fetchick. He's a coach out of Canada. Pretty good dude. Let's see, actually.
I will also have his contact listed in the description.
But, wait, you sit down. Yeah, so Mike was awesome throughout this whole process. I worked with him last year and this year. Last year I was supposed to do Ironman Chattanooga in 2021. Ended up getting COVID right before it, so deferred to this year. Yeah, it was awesome working with him. He does a good job, adjusting your schedule as needed, and he's really open to explaining stuff and sitting down and actually talking things through, which is really nice. I appreciate it. Especially being a newer athlete to the sport. He's not afraid to get down in the weeds and break everything down. So highly recommend him to anyone out there.
Yeah. All right, so you guys did have a conversation after the race to recap everything. So kind of a quick conversation. We'll do a quick tidbit here since the conversation was 40 minutes. So the down and dirty, what kind of did he say about your race and moving forward?
So he was definitely shocked about the swim time. He said he had another client that did the race as well. Her time was definitely way faster than her normal average. So the current was there. And then the bike, he kind of agreed I need to really work on improving my average watts I can hold for next year's race. And then on the run, kind of said working on the hydration piece and being able to get that salt in earlier. So I'm not doing it after I start cramping.
Your plans moving forward for your next race or next training season?
Okay, yeah, so the plan for this off season is now until December, and then January start back up into Ironman prep. Tentatively gonna do one in April to August, or I'll just wait to do Florida in November. But we'll kind of see what happens with work and life and all that fun stuff. So right now, my biggest goal is working on that increase in FTP, and then
What's FTP?
Functional threshold power. It's for measuring how much power you can put out on the bike. So think about it like your 1 rep max on squat or bench. You can use that to tailor your programming. So I'm gonna work on that, and then probably mix in some CrossFit, try to get some of that work capacity type stuff in there. producing hard efforts for medium to long durations. I think that'll help.
Awesome. Sounds like a good plan moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
And then what is your advice to people first time competing?
First time competitors. So I would say, just go out and race your race. Like, have a plan on what you're going to eat, when you're going to eat it, where you're going to store it. And then have a plan for the splits you want to hit. My biggest thing is I'm super competitive and end up getting passed a lot on the bike for that first 2 hours. And I really wanted to chase people down, but that hurt me on the second lap because I was definitely blowing up at that point. So just race your own race and don't worry about what everyone else is doing until you get to that point where you can actually compete instead of just survive the race.
Well, thanks so much if you watched this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Definitely want to do another recap or kind of going through Austin's next race whenever he chooses that next one. So I enjoyed being there, supporting him, making sure I got to each transition area on time, and then kind of just documenting it for him. So thanks so much for watching. If you got this far, please like, comment, and subscribe to the video. Thanks.
Sweet. Thanks, guys. See you.